Hello everyone, welcome to Analysts Perspective powered by VistaWise, where we decode the art and science of business analysis by real conversations. I'm your host Ajay Kaushik, and today we are talking about a topic that every BA face sooner or later: how to collaborate better with developer and solution designers. Because let's be honest, sometimes we are in completely different world. Joining me in Sindhu, senior consultant and engineer and a solution designer working with Australia's biggest bank, and passionate woman in IT. Together we will explore what techies really expect from a business analyst and a business analyst really needs from them. Welcome, Sindhu.
Thank you, Ajay. My pleasure.
Sindhu, before we dive into the collaboration, let's know a bit more about you. How you come to this techie world, how you become a solution designer. Talk us through your journey.
Sure. I did my engineering back in India and I was going by the flow. And through the campus interviews, just got selected in one of the IT company. That actually got me kick-started. I learned Java on my own and joined a company where I started with the Java projects. That's why I fell in love with Java. And then throughout my career, I've been a Java developer. In the mid of my career in Apple, so there got a lot of exposure, not only for developing, but also designing stuffs. And slowly, when I came to Australia, I became a developer, but I also got opportunities to design as well. Fortunate about that. So now, I'm partly doing developing and also solution designing.
So that means your journey from a techie developer to a solution designer is a roller coaster ride, or it was an easy job?
I wouldn't say it was an easy job. It was a roller coaster, not always, but it's been a bit of roller coaster. But every roller coaster was, what can I say, I learned a lot. That got me thinking from failures also, you can come back and deliver some things. So it was a nice learning process and also like delivering good stuffs.
So you are moving into the building the house to designing the blueprint of the house now?
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying it as well. Yes.
So let's discuss about the elephant in the room, business analysts and developers. How do you feel that they can collaborate better?
A very good question. How can they collaborate each other? I would say that they have to kill the communication gaps if there is any. The first and foremost is like they have to communicate each other very well. And for any business analyst, when they do analyze the things, it's good along with the solution designer, a developer also comes into analyzation phase. So sometimes it happens that usually a solution designer will be having a developer mindset. So they will be able to think in that aspect. Yes, first is collaboration, then a good documentation, and then thinking widely about the requirements and putting it together. That makes a lot of difference.
So it's not only about the documentation, it's all about having this journey together from thinking about the solution and involving the solution designer or techie in the initial discussion will really help.
Very much true. Right from the initial phases to the end final phases, there should be a collaboration between them. Otherwise, I would see that any product you build, there will be some gaps. If you want to mitigate those gaps, it's better they work together.
What is the biggest gap you think a developer and BA have nowadays?
Biggest gap which developer and the BA. Sometimes they don't put into each other's shoes and think on behalf of each other. For example, if a developer has to think in shoes of BA, how does he think? How does he do the requirement gatherings? How does a BA put all the pieces together? And when a BA comes to a developer, BA might thinking that developer just thinks technically, but that might not be true. So developer, when he's building, he needs to have the end-to-end understanding what BA has put together. So I would say that a clear communication or a very good documentation end-to-end, right from the requirements to the final stage of the product, it will be a good thing to know for each side.
Okay, so when you are working as a business analyst, you need to have a basic understanding of the technology as well, and for the developer as well, if you know those collaboration skills, if you have that understanding of the business processes, will that help you to think like a BA and BA think like a dev?
You answered the question already. Yes, there are functional BAs or tech BAs, right? So I would say there is an added advantage for the tech BAs because they'll be able to think a bit of technically also, like what are the technical constraints which can happen just much before reaching to developer, so that you can, if any issue comes, okay, so you can avoid the issues there only in the initial stages if BA is a bit technical. And if a developer's perspective, if developer have communication skills or a patience, I can say, like how to talk to business, how to extract the data during the initial phase of requirements. And one common thing I have found being a developer, if you get any user story to work on, you don't analyze end to end. You just stick to that user story and you deliver it. But instead, if you know end-to-end feature and still you work on a piece of that feature, you will be able to deliver a good product thinking in the future's perspective what all is needed to build it. So that's what I can say.
So we talk about a lot of tools. What is your favorite way of collaboration? Is it like you wanted to have one-to-one discussion with the business analyst, or you prefer more of a documentation available for you for every requirement which BA is coming through, or there is something else you expect?
Well, answer is again both. Before coming to a developer, at least a bit of brief documentation is very much necessary because that is the base how you communicate with the other parties, right? So once you have that documentation ready, you have to talk to BAs. It's more of have a meeting and then whiteboard sessions and then see this is the requirements, this is what is documented, how do we take it forward, how do we build the product together. I have usually seen solution designing and BAs when they do together, and once they give that product to build to a team, there is a line where there is cut off. Okay, we have done our part, let the developers or the team handle it. No, that should not be the thing. It should be like a constant communication, or when you have certain things devised, it's better you have a meeting with the team, explain about the things, and then have a subsequent meeting to analyze the risks, or is there any gaps between them technically, will it be able to achieve, or you require more solutioning, is there any gaps to be addressed. So I would say at least initially there should be a whiteboard session and a constant 1 or 2 meetings, and after that till the product is delivered, it's better to have constant follow-ups to just know that everything is going smoothly and there'll be no roadblockers.
Okay, so it's not like once you hand it over to the developer, you go to the another one.
No.
It's like that living that journey together.
Yes.
And having a check at every gate.
Yes.
That if things are moving fine.
Yes.
What I feel in my experience, because I have worked in the business space for 2 decades now, and I was part of a lot of solution discussions and pre-sales calls as well. Sometimes when you work on any problem, you just think on a higher level, and you discuss this with solution designer, and solution designer also look from the helicopter view and advise you the solution. When it goes to the developer, it have their own challenges. Now you have been a developer, then you've been a tech lead, now you're a solution designer. So I assume you have lived these 3 lives.
Yes, I have.
So what difference you feel from coming from developer to tech lead and now the solution designer? How you are doing your job better compared to the other solution designers?
Okay. Since I have played all the roles, so I was quite comfortable when doing a solution designing, like in order to analyze technically. That's what is an expectation in my organization too. But I have also worked with solution designers who are not too technically equipped, There were challenges at that point of time because in some projects, there will be people who does solution designing and there will be tech leads who analyze the implementation part, means using the tools, like what technologies to use, is there any database involved, or how it should be figured out, how to use the cloud technologies. So there is no end-to-end solutioning which is done together. So there I feel like there will be some gaps if not analyzed end-to-end. Otherwise, the way I do, I'm quite comfortable in the sense in any solution designing, it's always and important to analyze technically at the same time. And also when you get anything to build, it's important to involve BAs at the very initial stage. If you want to build any building, the initial foundation which you lay, it should be strong, right? That strong base will be done when you work together with the BA. Once the foundation is very strong, then you can build a building along with the team.
That's perfectly fine. And when you design those solutions together, be a think from a business perspective and understand what value it will bring to the business. Plus, sometimes BAs don't understand what are the technology challenges. And then when actual goes into the development, then developer come up with those challenges that we can't develop this type of API, and the integration between these two platforms is not very easy. We have to buy another third-party tool to bring those things together. So is it a good idea to bring both solution designer and BAs when they start designing the solution and keep that journey going together till the time you have that foundation? Now that's a perfect example. When you are working as a solution designer or a lead BA or a technical BA, you should have some understanding of each other's field.
Yes.
So that brings me to my next segment, where I wanted to understand from your perspective, will the BAs become a good developer or devs becomes good BAs?
Yes, it all depends on a person who wants to do this. Can become a developer. The technical BAs, few I know they have already done because they have some technical expertise. The only thing you have to get hands on, go dig deeper, like how to code. It's not the simple printout statements, like you need to dig deeper, build a simple product, run operations end to end and see how you go. It's the passion which you need to have, like to learn any language and to code on it. So that's the main point for the BAs. And how a developer can become BA. First of all, developers should have some empathy towards BA, like understand in their shoes, how do they think. It's all like, I have seen you also when we work together. You were doing a lot of thinking when you get any requirement. That thinking a developer should develop, and also how to communicate with the stakeholders and how to interact with the business, like how do they think, and build a lot of patience. I guess the developer also has a lot of patience when they're doing debugging in order to solve that. But in BA shoes, the way patience they have, like developer needs to build that. So, yeah.
When I do my requirement gathering sessions, I always have some preparation in my mind that if I'm going to discuss about user journey, then I should know what are the APIs available, what are the endpoints available into this. If business is asking something which is not possible through the code base which we have, then it's easy to stop at the initial stage.
Yes.
But there are some scenarios when BAs just go to the business and they are just the note takers and say, okay, business is wanting this, now developer has to develop this. Those kind of situation create some problem in the team's environment. And when I was creating this channel, the idea was that I will speak to each and every role available in the industry so that a BA can understand their pain point and can work according to their expectations. Like if I'm talking to you as a solution designer, then my viewers will definitely know how a solution designer thinks. Same thing when I will discuss this with QAs and project manager, then I will set this expectation to those guests as well, that now I want to understand what you expect from a BA. So it's fair to say that if you put your shoes into other roles, you will understand their pains.
Oh, definitely.
And without getting your hands dirty, you cannot get out of that situation.
Yes, I agree.
Coming back to the tools, nowadays technology is evolving and regularly we are seeing a lot of tools like ChatGPT. Atlassian is coming with so many products for the collaboration, and all these tools have their own mobile app as well. What do you think, the tools are helping in the collaboration, or they are creating more chaos, or there is a pressure coming on both the developers and technicals to learn about these tools?
I would say that I'm the one who like to embrace technology, whatever the new thing comes up. That's what the environment we have at home as well. So my husband always encourages me to learn new things and embrace it, so that like there'll not be any challenges in the future. Yes, there are new tools which is coming. It's up to you if you want to learn. If you have passion towards it, you keep learning. Or there are existing tools for documentation purpose. The Atlassian you mentioned, right? There is Jira, Confluence, where all the documentation starts. It's like a one-stop shop, I could say, where solution designing, business analysts record their requirements, and the developers or the teams, they refer to the same documentation, right? Now, as a developer, if I need to say, yes, there are many things which is happening with respect to AI, and it's all the new learning things. When I started learning about AI, I was really astonished, like the way how the prompting and all works, and how can we generate the code with respect to the prompting. So it was a good thing for me to learn, and I wouldn't say that everything AI can do. AI is always like, it follows the instruction given by humans, right? And it acts accordingly. But yes, instead of going or searching various websites, or when you're doing problem solving things, if you ask, you will get everything at one stop, right? So I would say that it's a good thing which has happened, and it's still evolving. Let's see how it goes.
So the kind of use most of these organizations using in current world about the AI, do you think it will have some impact on techie's job? Because I have seen that, because initially it was taking a whole day to write business requirement, creating a proper structured user story. And now if I put my notes into ChatGPT and say, write me a perfect user story, she will just ask me some background information, and based on the notes, even from the meeting recording, if I put all the meeting recording into the ChatGPT, it will give me the user story, which makes sense to me, but definitely I need to have a 4-eye view on that.
Yeah.
And just to check whether the output is matching my expectation or not. But in your world, when you do code, when you design the solution, are you taking any help?
Yes, I'm taking help. It all depends on different organizations, like the tools they have. So whichever tools is available in that organization, you can use that tool. But apart from that, personally, if you're doing something, you can just explore whatever is available in internet. Now, coming back to your original question, does AI affect jobs? The answer can be yes and no also. Why I say yes? Because yes, the way AI is helping to do stuffs or analyzing business requirements, or for the developer, like writing the code, yeah, it is quite fast. But at the same time, I'm not sure how to, in terms of security, how to control it. So that is still an open question, and I'm not too aware of it. Second thing is that you already mentioned that when AI generates something, you are still analyzing it. So at the end of the day, still we need to be there in order to finalize the things.
Correct.
Right? And also for the AI to progress, it's us who are making it to progress, right? It's like we are feeding the data, so we are trying to do something. The answer will be no. So I wouldn't say that fully it can replace, because it might generate more jobs as well.
Yeah, that's true. Because I feel in my field, AI is just a tool which will help you to work smarter and faster.
Yeah,
So rather than, I call it as an assistant,
that's true.
where you will just talk and she will give you something.
Yes.
And then you use it and you verify it and you present it
Yep.
in a better way. But ultimately, you rightly said, it is data is fed by humans, so human will always be there. Now coming back to our original discussion topic, we sidetrack a little bit into AI, the collaboration part between BA and developer. What are the common mistakes and misunderstandings between these two roles? Because I have seen this in many projects where you have different approaches, you have different point of views. So what do you think? What is the issue here?
Okay. So the common issue that has in any project, like from a BA perspective, BA might think that developer is just trying to ward off not to do this particular implementation. He's just saying that there is technical constraints or something like that. And from a developer perspective, when the requirement comes, developer might think that BA hasn't analyzed properly or gathered the requirements end to end, or not analyzed how technically it is possible. He hasn't given us the functional and non-functional requirements properly. So I would say that these were the major things, the gaps between, which causes friction between BA and developer. But BA and developer should have mutual understanding or mutual respect towards each other, have empathy towards each other. That's when they'll be able to think, putting in their shoes, like how it has been done, can it be done, or analyze the things. So
Yeah, I
yes.
remember one of my solution designer in one of the energy company where I worked. So when we started that project, it took at least 3-4 weeks to come on the same page.
Okay.
And after few sessions, we agree on a template of the user story. That every time when I am doing any backlog grooming session or any technical discussion, that person was coming with so many questions, and I was saying that's a technical understanding. You need to figure it out. But later I realized that if I have to stop these discussions, I should have a template for the user story which contains all these requirements.
Yes.
And we agree on a template which makes sense to the developer as well and to myself as well. After putting that template into action, I felt that my backlog grooming sessions are way faster. I was getting the estimation. Even our Scrum Master was very happy to see how estimations are coming quickly, how estimations were accurate, and within 2 to 3 sprint of work, our velocity was very constant.
Oh, that's good.
Because having those business overview in the requirement section, having a proper scope statement into the requirement in the user story, plus you have the business background, then you have all the assumptions, and then you have a proper data mapping. And then there was a column he asked me to add about the non-functional requirement. Initially I felt that why should I be taking care of this aspect? But later I realized that if I am putting all of these non-functional requirements into each user story, that makes their life easy. And also the testers, when testers are testing this user story, they know what is the acceptance criteria. And I started putting that into the acceptance criteria, which make lots of sense now, that how you can collaborate with the developer to make the project life easy.
That's very good. So it just avoids the issues in the future. So as you rightly said, like in any Jira ticket or whatever, so you define the scope, the requirements, and then the technical notes if you want to add as per the designer aspects, and then what needs to be built. And post you have built the non-functional requirements, how you have to test it, what needs to be done so that the product will be delivered properly.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Now another aspect of your life, women in IT, how that thing happened and what impact has it on your life?
Okay. So when I came to Australia in 2018, It took a while for me to find the first job. I had like multiple interviews and I didn't have PR at that point of time. So I had quite of difficulty to find my first job. So that actually, that was in my mind. If I was struggling so much with 8+ years of experience when I came here, like how the other people, like it would have had, they will be in the same shoes, right? So when I was searching like this, I found a Facebook group called Women in IT. So they're all passionate women help the other women who are seeking jobs.
Yeah.
So for example, women who have career breaks or fresh out of college and looking for the jobs. So we guide them on their fields, whichever they are interested. So for example, I have guided certain developers how to crack interviews, how to refine their resumes, based on their technical skills, how to put in the resumes and everything. What are the questions you can expect in an interviews? I also conducted some mock interviews so that they'll not be so scared when they face their first interviews here. So yeah, it's like women helping each other.
Well, that's very good, because the idea of this channel also came from where you were talking.
Okay.
So I almost have the same journey. It took me 6 months in Australia to get my first break. And one of the main thing which I learned is Australia is all about networking.
Yeah.
And helping each other. It's a very small world. Now, around 30-40% BAs knows me because we have crossed our paths somewhere. So I become part of those meetup group where you understand what the country is all about. And a fair way to say that, if you know the people who are in the same boat, you both can get the success.
Yeah.
And VistaWise, basically the organization who is also part of the analyst perspective, are helping a lot of students like this. Because what I feel that if you get a right advice in the initial stage of your migration, you can definitely get success. And you will not go on a path which will take a lot of your energy, but don't give you the actual success for which you came here. And I have a separate section, and definitely I will plan another podcast like this to know more about women in IT, because most of our viewers are business analysts, college students, plus those women as well who are looking for their first break. And this channel giving a lot of advice to the students how you can get the first job. And I have already lined up a couple of podcasts with those recruiters as well, and the people who are helping those students plus migrants how to land a first job in Australia. That's a separate discussion we'll definitely have on this. But if there is something focused on the women in IT, definitely women will get a lot of benefit out of it.
Definitely.
Now, how was this journey so far? Feeling relaxed?
I'm feeling much relaxed now. Thanks, Ajay, for making it feel home. So yeah, whenever we discuss, like it ends up being very good. Thanks.
So we'll start with a rapid fire round. We'll make it more attractive.
Should I be more stressed now?
No, that's a fun fact, and I always use in all of my podcasts.
Okay.
Just 5-6 questions, and whatever the flow took me, you just have to answer in one word. Whatever first thing comes in your mind, you can tell.
Sure thing.
Okay, so one BA skill every developer should learn.
Good communication and patience.
One developer habit every BA should copy.
Thinking technically.
Favorite piece of tech jargon.
Shift left.
Best coffee for coding marathon.
I'm a chai lover. So any masala chai.
If not in IT, what you will doing today?
A lecturer or a lawyer.
That's a wrap, Sindhu.
Ah,
Thank you for all the valuable conversation. I think it is much more clear to me as well to understanding a technical perspective, what a BA want and what a technical developer wants from a BA. And I think our viewers will definitely get a lot of benefit out of it. And what I learned from this conversation is that it's not about documentation and providing those user stories to the developer. It's a combined and a collaborative journey which a BA and developer should take part together to innovate things and to build the product faster and quicker.
Yes, definitely.
So viewers, if you are more interested in knowing about Sindhu's journey, you can connect with her on LinkedIn and follow her updates. And if you wanted to learn more about business analysts, keep watching and subscribe to this channel. I will be coming back with a fresh episode next week with another project role. Thank you, Sindhu.